Hello everyone, today we're playing Home, an indie game made by one person, this Benjamin Rivers. It's described, as you can see there, as a unique horror adventure. This game's a little bit different than what I usually do videos of, because there is no demo available for the game. If you want to play the game, you do have to buy it. However, it is only $2. The game is very simple. Controls you can pick up immediately. Move and interact. And that's it. I'll leave it up to you if you want to wear headphones and turn off the lights. But it does help. And with that, the game begins. We are this pixel man who woke up in this pixel house. He doesn't know where he is. As you can see, the graphics very simple. Low res, sprite graphics. Very vague. And I think that's deliberate, because most of the things in the game are described with words. Well, let's take a look at his face. Okay, so it seems that this murder happened recently. This game describes itself as a murder mystery, a horror adventure, and the website for the game says that there is an emphasis on the choices you make. There are a lot of choices, and supposedly there are multiple outcomes that can be had. We could try going downstairs, but let's explore this floor first before we move off. Well, we don't have too much of a reason to, but I guess we did just wake up in a house with a dead body and we don't know where we are. So maybe it could be useful. Man, that's a good point. We didn't think about that. Well, this doesn't look too good at all for a protagonist. And perhaps the guy was dragged into that hallway. Maybe the murder happened here. So as you can see with that drawer, there are a lot of little choices that can be made, such as, did we look through the drawer? Maybe that choice will have some kind of effect later on, and maybe it won't. That's not being coy. I really don't know if that choice has an effect. I played through, well, almost through the game once, and I can definitely see how some choices would affect things, but I'm not sure if everything does, or if some choices are just trivial. You do have to like to read to play this game, though, because that's really most of what this game is, building atmosphere through the text as well as sound. Speaking of sound... Sounds like there were some heavy drinkers in this house. Well, like he says, there's no reason for us to do that. And if we were questioned about the murder, it would seem kind of awkward if we did have a picture of the murder victim and his wife, so let's leave it there. Really, how's that going to help us anyway? And let's keep looking before we go back down again. Let's say maybe our guy likes small animals. Yeah? Didn't seem like there was really an effect. The mouse ran into the mouse hole. but I don't see how that could really have much of an effect on anything. Like I said, controls to the game are very simple. We walk around, we interact with things that get a white outline when we're next to them. Anything else we don't have to be concerned with. There's no inventory to the game. Even though we do pick up objects, if we do pick up an item, we'll use it automatically if we get to the proper place. But there is no item screen, so we don't even have to be concerned about that much. Well, of course. The problem with putting a hidden switch behind a painting is if someone sees it, they have to press it. Even if they have no reason to, even if they don't know what it does, you just have to. You're obligated now. You saw a hidden switch behind a painting. What could that possibly do? Well, if there's mud caked on his shoes, that probably implies he's been walking around outside in the rain. Alright, can't go out through the front door, and we can't interact with that. Just so you... No difference. Just so you know, we're not going to play through the whole game, because I'd estimate that would probably take between, let's say, 2 or 3 hours. And I don't really want to play through the entirety of a game that just came out anyway, on video. I feel kind of guilty about that. Okay, so the switch behind the painting unlocked this door. Everything is described in the past tense. Like he's describing what happened at some point later on. Apparently we have already done this, but we're trying to remember what happened. And I think that we definitely did move the box, because we had reason to, right? There's a ladder underneath it. We can see it. That seems like a bad idea, but we do want to get out of the house, and this seems like the only way. Yeah, apparently our protagonist hurt his leg somehow, but he doesn't remember how. And there you have the title. We're trying to get home, wherever that is from wherever here is. Everything seems to have 2 descriptions. So if something interests you, you can look at it more than once, and maybe you might actually get some interesting information if you do. I think something of more interest is not so much what kind of interest that guy has in the water tower, but why does he have this all pasted up in this underground dank cave instead of upstairs in his house? I can think of some uses for a dank cave, but it's not really someplace you want to hang out, is it? Well, that's what we're trying to do. You might think that moving the furniture away from the front door might have been easier, but well, let's go through the caverns. Well, we could potentially be wanted for murder of that guy upstairs. It would look bad if we were carrying his gun, wouldn't it? I'm going to say no. And so far, we haven't seen any reason that we might need a gun, right? Doesn't mean anything to me either. Really, I beat... Well, I almost got to the end of the game, and I still don't know what that note means. I keep saying that I almost got to the end of the game. Now, hold on. Okay, so human remains underground. Doesn't seem like underground is any better than above. Like I said I almost made it to the end of the game. I made it to a point where I'm pretty sure the game was about to end, but I got stuck, and for that reason I'm having difficulty wholeheartedly recommending the game, because I like it. And I am going to play through it again, but I didn't like that I couldn't figure out what to do at the very end. And you can't save, by the way. You're meant to play through it in one sitting. Alright, so it looks like we have ended up in someone's underground torture chamber. Things are just getting better. But maybe down is not the correct direction to keep moving in. Maybe we could just go back up and move that furniture out of the front door. No? No, keep going down. Yeah, it's finding a box of your old clothes in the underground torture chamber of a murdered man does seem like something that would ruin your day. We'd probably want to find that wallet. You wouldn't want to leave that lying around here. Come on, you can't jump down into a long black pit that you can't see the bottom of. So no, we're not jumping. And his leg hurts anyway. His leg is hurt anyway, so no, that's out of the question. Well, that seems like there's something interesting on the other side of that wall, but we can't get over there. But it's a good thing we came in. We definitely took that rope. Rope is one of the most useful things in a situation like this. I really like the low-resolution pixel aesthetic. I tend to in video games. Okay, yeah, we can use the rope to climb down safely. Even though it's very simple, I do think it's pretty effective, and it is something that just appeals to me. Yeah, we can start to hear some machinery, it sounds like. So let's go into the area that's in danger of caving in, why don't we? Should we have taken the gun? Well, we can't go back for it. This game is split into different areas. We've now passed the house and its underground cavern. We've now entered this, well, what is this place? Some kind of facility. As you've heard so far, there's really no music in the game aside from the title screen, but I do think that the game has a very effective use of sound, of ambient noise. Oh hey, similar dirt on our own shoes. So it's likely that we came through here then, isn't it? I love old videotapes. You don't even know. It's not necessarily that we have to discover anything on the tape. But if we happen across an old VCR, then why not take a look at it? Oh, exit. That sounds like what we want. Except putrid water bars our way, so we have to find a way to drain this and see what's down there. Seems like we just keep going lower. It doesn't seem like the way we'd want to go. Well, we might be a murder suspect. So picking up a blood-coated knife seems like a pretty terrible idea. It seemed like a pretty terrible idea even if we might not be wanted for murder, so no. And again, will these choices have any effect on the outcome? I don't know. Yeah, if we're going to lower that water, then it sounds like that this would be what we'd have to turn. Alright, so it's become apparent, it seems that we're in some kind of water treatment plant. Why it would have been connected to the underground torture chamber of whoever it was that lived in that house, I'm not sure. And that sounds like it's still going. Mm-hmm. Seems to be random how many times you have to do that. Alright. Well, that's all of the valves we've seen going this way. So let's head back and see if that pool's drained. Don't know why the exit would be at the bottom. Okay, it's not that one. Why the exit would be at the bottom of a pool of rancid water. But I didn't design it. Alright. These little Resident Evil style interludes where you open doors, probably unnecessary. I doubt the game is really taking the time to load anything. I think it's a nice touch though. 2 locked doors so far. Oh, that looks like another dead body. It is. So I guess we know what was done with that bloody knife that we saw earlier, and of course we take the key ring. And maybe, maybe on a dead body. But even if this wasn't a video game, I think we'd know we'd need those keys. There's a surveillance camera in this room. Yeah, that camera is aimed directly at that dead body. That's a good question. And I think the game was trying to give me a hint that I was about to reach the exit of this water treatment plant. Because if I left, I would not be able to go back. Okay, looks like someone deliberately took the tape from the shelf and threw it in the garbage. Yes, we did. Oh yeah. YouTube Slenderman videos. You have to add the static to make it more scary. It's so you can't actually see clearly what's happening. There was another door that was locked, so let's see if our keyring can open that one as well. I mean, now it's probably a good thing we didn't pick up that knife. You don't want to be carrying around a murder weapon. Oh, great. Seeing a lot of empty liquor bottles lying around. Don't forget about the one with the high school girl being strung up in the tree. Why would we keep a dirty receipt that we found in this place? There's no reason to do that. Sounds like there's some kind of crackling sound in here. I don't see anything, though. That might be doing that. Alright, we've unlocked the doors that were locked before, so it's... So perhaps we should just get out of here and see what's on the outside of this plant. And with that, we find ourselves outside. And then once again, we cannot go back. Well, I think that's enough of home. At least enough to get a good idea of what the game is like and if that's something you might be interested in. I like the game. I like what it's doing. The game is very simple. There's really nothing you have to learn to play the game. You move around with the arrow keys, you interact with anything that glows white with the spacebar, and that's it. No inventory management. You use items automatically if you have them, if you need them. Basically, the whole thing is about atmosphere, about the story, and choices that you make and seeing if that has any effect on the conclusion of the game. I'm not sure how many endings the game has. I did come to a point at the end where there was what appeared to be a single choice that the whole game was leading up to. And the one I made things come out differently than what I thought they would. Because the way this game builds up to the end, you pretty much figure out what's going on. Or at least you think you do, because the choice I made, I wasn't sure. Wasn't quite sure what was happening after I made it. Things got a bit different. I said that I didn't actually beat the game before, and that's because I got stuck at the end. Without giving away any kind of spoilers, I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say that I needed a combination, and I didn't see anything earlier in the game that would have given me a hint as to what it is. If anyone has played the game, you already know what I'm talking about. And if you know what that combination is, give me a hint as to what I might have had to have seen in the game to figure out what that is. Because I've looked online and I have not seen anyone post what that combination is. Or at least that seemed like the only thing that was in my way from beating the game. It seemed like the only thing I hadn't done. But I'm going to play the game again and see if maybe I was wrong and maybe if there was something else I missed. Overall, I like Home, but like I said, I'm a bit reluctant to recommend it just because of my first playthrough. I had to just stop the game because I couldn't figure out what to do at the very end. Nevertheless, I do enjoy what it's doing. It's only $2. Like I said, playtime, my first time through was, I think, between 2 or 3 hours. And you've now seen almost a half an hour of this game, so you probably have a good idea of if this is something you would be interested in. So that's Home. The website for this game is homehorror.com, and I'll post that link in the description. So check it out if this seems like something that would be of interest to you.